What is going on, guys? So, today's episode, we are going to talk about a number of things. But first and foremost, what I would like to delve into is the fact that there are a number of other professions that share the rigor of nursing. So, for example, waitressing. You're on your feet all day. You are dealing with people who don't necessarily see you as a human, but somebody who is there specifically to serve you. Hairstylists, similar. You're on your feet all day. You are there serving people who unfortunately see you as somebody who was only there to see them. Now, granted, that's not always the case. As a nurse, I can say, and I'm sure that this is the case also with the other professions, and those are just two of several. There are people that we encounter that do make us feel like, okay, what we are doing, the hard work here, is being seen and appreciated and being taken into consideration. But you can't have good with bad. You can't have pretty, or excuse me, you can't have good without bad. You can't have pretty without ugly. So, that being said, yes, nursing is its unique, its own profession. No, in hairstyling and in waitressing, you are not pushing IV narcotics and passing medications and trying to save lives. So that's not what I'm saying in terms of comparison, okay? For those of you who love to argue. The point that I'm trying to make is there are certain components of these careers that are similar, that do have things in common. And I brought that point up because I recently learned on the social medias that this young 15-year-old individual was getting her hair done. And once she was done, got up out of the chair and ran out of the salon. This has happened in the restaurant industry as well. Folks will finish eating after asking the waiter or waitress to bend over backwards. Can you get this? Can you do this? What about this? And the waiter or waitress is always like, we don't typically do this, but I'll try, because they want the tip. They want to pay the bills. Okay. So yes, these people are utilizing a skill set. Yes, there is training that goes into waiting tables. There is an abundance of training that goes into hairstyling or cosmetology. Hairstyling is a part of that. And there is an abundance of schooling and training that goes into nursing. And so, for example, in the nursing industry, there are opportunities to do per diem and registry and travel work. Per diem and registry work are similar in the sense of there's no commitment. Registry is different from per diem in the sense of you are not working for that facility that you're going to. You're working for an agency that is telling you that this specific facility has a need on these days. This other facility has a need on these days. None of those facilities are paying you. The agency is paying you. And sometimes they mess up your pay. After 12 hours of running around, trying to keep people alive, trying to educate that you can't have your family member come in here and bring you greasy fries, you mean to tell me that I'm going to be met with a short check or not being paid? It doesn't sit well, no matter who you are, no matter what the profession is. It will never sit well to do a job that you are supposed to be paid for and not get paid for it. Let's move forward. The hairstylist, who is 18, dragged the 15-year-old back into the salon by the hair. The video showed that the mother was sort of trailing behind the event. The video then goes on to show that the mother was interviewed by God knows who, I don't know. And she said that essentially this is embarrassing for her daughter, that it's viral. It's all over social media, the internet, that my daughter was dragged back into the salon by her hair. I am not condoning violence. And I believe that I would only condone violence in circumstances that have something to do with innocent children, rape, or abuse. You understand what I'm saying? In a lot of other senses, and this is all, I'm saying this with a grain of salt as well, because I understand that, life will go on and there will be other things that take place that'll make me want to react violently. But generally speaking, I am not someone that you will find encouraging violence. And so, am I the kind of person to be like, yes, drag her by the hair? No, absolutely not. With that being said, this young lady is 15. And it was a little strange, or therefore, it was a little strange to hear mom being upset about her being embarrassed, or how embarrassing it was that her daughter was dragged back into the salon by her hair. She did not comment on the fact that, at least based on what I saw and heard in the video, that her daughter should have never went to go get her hair done if she didn't have the money. She should have never gotten up and ran out of that chair and disrespected that woman's time and skill set after getting her hair done. At 15, no, I am not expecting you to have a Fortune 500 company. I am not expecting you to have a well-established career. I am not expecting you to have a partner with 2.3 kids, a house, and a white picket fence. I know that that all sounds absurd, but I know that some people like to compare that level of accomplishment, maturity, understanding, achievement with knowing the difference between right and wrong. I don't have to be an established adult. I don't have to know my way around life to know the difference between right and wrong. If my 5-year-old nephew knows the difference between right and wrong, then that 15-year-old knows that she should have never gotten up out that chair and ran out of that salon. Now, there was a component of that video where it seemed like they were saying she sent the money to the wrong Cash App and was trying to send it to the correct one. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood something, but that still doesn't make any sense to me, because if I wanted to pay you all along, if after you did my hair, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I always, from the very beginning, from the minute I made the appointment to getting the appointment done, if I always had the intention of paying you, even if I accidentally sent it to the wrong Cash App, why would I run? Why would I run? Somebody's comment was like, all of this over a mistake. I don't believe it was all over a mistake, because the way that information was presented was not customer accidentally sent money to the wrong Cash App and then was attacked or accosted. No, it was customer ran out of the salon, which is a strong indication that she never intended to pay and was dragged back into the salon by the hair. Now, again, I do not condone violence, but it's also weird for a lot of people to be like, how dare she? She's 15. Okay, well, the girl that was doing the hair is only 18. There's not a fat age difference here. It's common for the level of maturity to be similar amongst a set of ages, and that's why there are age groups that fall under the same heading, because that level of maturity is similar. But even with me saying that, the level of maturity does not equate to how one should feel if they've been taken advantage of, if their time was deliberately wasted. The maturity has nothing to do with that was wrong or that was the right thing to do. Levels of right and wrong can become more and more complex as you deal with more and more complex situations in life. This is not a complex situation. You go get a service done, you pay for the service. You knew you had to pay for the service. And now mommy's online upset about how embarrassing it is that you being dragged back into the salon is all over the internet. We need to address the root cause. In nursing, there are a number of issues that, for example, a number of issues that take place. We can't just band-aid the issue. We have to dig deeper and figure out why it's happening. For example, as I said, if somebody is having a weird feeling in their chest, a fluttery feeling in their chest, it could be what we call runs of VTAC. That sounds a lot more complicated than what the actual issue is. It's not a matter of treating the heart. It's a matter of treating whatever that is that's directly affecting the heart. The heart's actually fine. But if we don't correct the electrolyte imbalance issue that's causing those runs of VTAC, the heart can then become damaged. But the heart itself is fine. The entire thing is a system. They all work together. So if one thing goes wrong, it's going to affect something else. In this particular case, mommy's upset because what took place directly affected this person's reputation. Now we're commenting on the reputation. That doesn't make any sense. What took place to directly affect the reputation? Baby girl, 15-year-old, who knows the difference between right and wrong, sat down in that chair, understood what it meant to get your hair done and to pay for the service, and then got up out of the chair and ran out of the salon. If it was a mistake, if it truly was a mistake, it took place in a very strange fashion. I accidentally sent the Cash App to the wrong person. If I always wanted to pay you, if I never had a problem with paying you, then I would have been okay with figuring out what went wrong. If I never intended to pay you, I'm gonna run. The threatening or the violent behavior did not take place until after she ran. It wasn't like she started attacking the girl in the salon. And this is, again, I'm going based off of what was reported. The attack didn't just start. It wasn't like she was done with her hair and felt in her spirit, she's not going to pay me. Let me start attacking her, push her to run out the salon, and then drag her back into the salon by the hair. That's not what was reported. That's not what happened. So it's weird that people are like, all of this over a mistake. No, I think what happened was when she was dragged back into the salon, she was forced to pay her. And in her being in such a state of shock, probably accidentally sent it to the wrong person. Now the hairstylist trust is completely severed. It's broken. I think you're playing with me. You just ran from me. I don't believe you ever intended to pay me in the first place. So, all that being said, we can't address one component of the issue without addressing the other component of the issue. We can't pretend that that hairstylist always had the intent of dragging her back into the salon by her hair. Everybody's commenting on the fact that the little girl is 15. There's better ways that this could have been handled. She ran out of the salon, okay? Again, I'm not condoning violence. I'm not. The other way this could have happened was homegirl runs. She runs. Let's say that the hairstylist calls her. Do we think that the chances are high that that 15-year-old would have answered the phone and been like, yo, my bad. I didn't mean to haul ass out of there like that after you did my hair and didn't pay you. I didn't mean to get up out that chair as soon as you said I was done. I didn't mean to get the fudge out of there. I always planned on paying you, girl. You want me to come back and pay you? What are the odds that that would have happened? Let's say she called the police. How frequently do police officers take these reports seriously? I'm just being completely transparent with y'all. Sometimes life has to teach you a hard lesson for you to understand that you can't play with people's money like that. This wasn't something illegal that was taking place. She was doing her hair. This wasn't a favor. This was a service. Again, I know I feel like I got to keep saying this. I am not the kind of person to condone violence, but I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. I've been on this earth for a little bit of time. I've seen enough to be able to deduce that certain things are inevitable. Certain people just have to deal with life a certain way to understand that they can't continue going about life a certain way. How about we look at it like this could have been much worse? What if that 18-year-old had anger issues and whipped out the gun that she illegally had and shot her? Now we would have had a lot more to talk about. No, it would not have been worth her life. No, I would not have said, good for her. I would have never said, I'm glad she died. At least now she's learned. Learned what? In her death? I would not have been like, oh, well, now she's paralyzed, but she ain't gonna run from anything. That's all disrespectful. So the point that I'm trying to make here, her being dragged back into that salon might have probably been the best thing that could have happened to her at this young age, so that moving forward, much worse things don't take place. It's unfortunate that this lesson needed to be learned because it's understood that you don't run away when you're supposed to be paying for something, but clearly a lesson needed to be learned here. And I do feel like there is a degree of enablement with mom being this upset about how embarrassing it is for her daughter to be dealing with her consequences in such a gross fashion. This is the age of the internet. Social media has taken over. If there is a camera nearby and some crazy shit happened, it will be viral within minutes. I don't understand why we're so shocked. Tell me how y'all feel. Leave your comments down below. Make sure y'all slide over to my website, www.dirtywordsmith.com, to check out my comic book, to check out my merch. We're going to be adding new merch, keychains, stickers, all of that's coming soon. Let me know how you guys feel. Let me know how y'all feel about the website, about the comic book. If you want it signed, I do have an event coming up at the FEM conference in Palos Verdes, California, on March 19th and 20th. So go ahead and look into that, and I'll see you guys later.